Kwanu kwako, kwanu kwako, kwakwani mani masetoi, makluyaso, kwawasuyasane, kwanu kwako, kwakwani mani masetoi. Kwanu kwako, kwakwani mani masetoi. Hey, kanune. Nima meno kabwe. Nima meno kabwe, nima meno kabwe, nima meno kabwe. Okay. Nima meno kabwe, nima meno kabwe, nima meno kabwe. Nima meno kavu, nima meno kavu, wayole, kwanu kwakwa, nima meno kwanu kwakwa eh.
Again, we want to say good evening to all of you. A pleasant Sunday evening here from our end. It's officially 50 minutes past 10 o'clock here this evening in Rwanda, and it's 50 minutes past 8 o'clock in Liberia. And I guess it's some kind of minute past, some kind of hour from Minnesota, where Alfonso is currently. But I don't know the time that we're in.
16 minutes past 3.
60 minutes past 3 o'clock p.m. in Minnesota, USA. 16 minutes past 10 o'clock in Liberia, 16 minutes past 8 o'clock in Liberia. But again, we want to say thank you to all of you for joining the show here this evening. It's a pleasant good time. Welcome again to the Heat Hour. On the Heat Hour, we say dialogue and not confrontation. We say words and not bullet. Today is going to be a very mouth-watering show here on the Heat Hour. We're going to usher in very shortly Mr. Colonius Miame. I hope I'm getting that right. Mr. Colonius Miame is a representative hopeful in the upcoming District Number 5 by-election.
It's becoming something else.
Yeah, the network tonight is becoming something else for my location. I think
yeah, that's why I want to relocate, but I was thinking that from my side, but my network is good though.
Even me, I'm experiencing the same thing. I don't know what's going on. I don't really know. We changed the first link, and we had to come up with this one, and I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's from the platform. I don't know, but let's try like this again and see. So again, folks, would like to say welcome to all of you. It's a pleasant, beautiful Sunday evening. So, like I previously said, we will shortly usher in Mr. Colonius Miame. Mr. Colonius Miame is a representative hopeful in the upcoming District Number 5 by-election. But again, a lot of things have been happening in Liberia. We're going to throw light on those things before we usher in our guests. We hope our network do not carry us backward for today's show. So it's I don't know what's going on. But first, when I go short, I think you can pick up from where I will go short, because I don't know what's going on with the network.
Oh
But I
yeah,
think, yeah.
that's a network issue, and
What really going on? Who want to spoil this show tonight? Am I okay now?
yeah, I'm getting you though.
Okay, let's try this again. So, yesterday we were not live here, but we played some brief recording from my former 25th president of Liberia, Charles Gange Taylor, when he was being tried by the Special Court of Sierra Leone, which is currently in prison for 50 years by those charges leveled against him by the Sierra Leonean government at that time. And we tried to reflect on our history last night to maybe tell our people how far we Liberians have come, and what are some of those bitter things we've experienced in our history, something that we cannot go back to. Imagine having a statement of your country being imprisoned by another country is something very unpredictable, something we cannot speak to. But again, we want to say thank you to all of you for joining the show here this evening. If you are just joining, please help to share the show with somebody and let somebody share with another person. We were to discuss about the Concerned Women from Nima County press statement, which we're going to be doing here today while we are with our guests to enter in studio. But again, I think, Alfonso, you have more details about this Nima County education system. I mean, this regarding the recent ghost names. Those are ghost names on Ministry of Education payroll. You've been into the field. You've been with the government before. You've been working as a teacher, as a professor, and you know all of these things. Tell us a little bit about it. But before we go to this story, let's hear you what's on your mind this evening.
Well, today I want to say welcome to the show. Sorry that yesterday we did not appear in person due to some tight schedule we have, and we are here today. So continue to be with us. We'll try to adjust ourselves to the schedule and see which program will be good for all of you in a week. And as long as you are here, we will continue to share our ideas, give some information, sensitive one, and developmental information across NIMAC and Liberia. My brother Gion is not an easy thing when I watch this way the war is going. I believe that the Bible, stretch out that nation will rise against nation. I don't know those who wrote that book called Bible. They knew or they want for, or they knew what their future generation going to do, or they wrote something that our future generation should implement. That's why I'm just still thinking about if it is, yeah, if it is word of God, then it is coming to pass. Every time we see nation going against nation, some for power, some for resources and all that stuff. And we don't know where the war is going. So we just have to be careful as a nation, plan our nation in the proper direction to see how we cannot be part of those who want to destroy the world.
Definitely. Our guest is already in studio, but we will put him at the back for like 5 minutes while we try to discuss this ghost name issue in Liberia. But what I have on my mind this evening is the issue between Iran and Israel. I mean, we don't know what's popping from that end, but it's getting very frustrating. I've been seeing so many different videos on the social media with the launch, the attack from the both countries. I believed, like you said, we as a country, Liberia, we need to really, really pray for our country so that we don't end up being like those countries that are at war today. But again, that's it. We want to say thank you to all of you who just joining the show. It's a pleasant, good time. We have been joined this evening by Mr. Colonius Miame. Mr. Miame is a representative hopeful in the upcoming District Number 5 by-election. You can drag glued to your radio this evening, to your TV station, and we're going to ask him all of the top questions here this evening regarding his efforts in the district. What has he been doing for the people of District Number 5? We're also going to be asking him to tell us about his intention for this upcoming by-election. He's going to be diving into his developmental agenda for District 5. But again, it's a pleasant good show. We will be joined later on by Mr. DK Way. DK Way is one of our panelists here on the show. DK Way will be joining us very shortly. He said, yeah, we got to heat up all of the candidates in this upcoming by-election. So today we have with us Mr. Colonius Miame. Mr. Miame will join us shortly to introduce himself while we dive into today's discussion. But we cannot have our guests in studio while we go to other stories. We're going to keep those stories for later on. So since our guest is here, let's say welcome this evening to the show, Mr. Miame. Honorable Miame. Please unmute your microphone.
Yeah, you are muted, sir.
There. Good.
Okay. Thank you. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you are okay now.
Okay. Thank you for having me on your platform tonight. Very privileged and very honored to be here with you. Every time we get a chance to discuss issues that have to do with our nation, it's always important and it's a responsibility that we all have as citizens of this great nation to serve or to contribute to its forward march. And therefore, I'm very happy to be with you tonight, and I just want to greet all the fathers across the world today, especially my own father, Reverend Dr. Amos B. Mammoth, and all fathers across the world. I commend you, and I just encourage you to keep doing the good things that fathers do for families. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We would like you to please welcome the microphone a little bit from your end because you were coming in a little bit lower, and our followers are saying they were not really getting you. So maybe you could draw a little bit closer.
If you have something playing at the back, maybe you have to lower it or pull it off. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's a little better than before. It's okay.
You have to lower your TV.
So I mean, it's a pleasant good time. We had to change from one link to another link this evening because of the different network issue we've been facing. But thankfully, you are here, and it's going to be a great and a wonderful show. We encourage all of our followers. If there is any question you have for the honorable man tonight, Mr. Bokwa Miame, you can please drop it in the comment section.
It's Colonius Miame.
This is not Bokwa.
But you said Bokwa Miame, I say it's Colonius Miame.
Okay, we got.
Oh, okay. It's Colonius Bokwa Miame. Okay.
My grandfather's name before.
Okay. Yeah. Mr. Bokwa, you can please work on the background noise from your end. We are really getting some feedback.
Or maybe get log out and log back in. Yeah,
So
log out and log back in.
let me try to resend the link to DK. I think DK is here and he wants to join, but you know we got to change from one link to another this evening. So DK just got to bear with us.
And you know, John, I want to appreciate the launching, you know,
Yeah,
of the
we will
Movie
talk
Out
about the
TV.
launching after our
Yeah.
guest. Yeah, I mean the launching was great though. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Can you please text the mic again? Let's see.
Me? Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you are okay now. You are much better. You are much better. So let's get to our discussion. Shortly, DK will be joining us very shortly, so that we can continue the discussion with him. But let's get to know you. Introduce yourself once more and your profession, your impact. Then we can go to the district. But let's start with your personal background first.
First of all, I was born in Lima County in the year 1976. Began my education at Special Mission and I completed my kindergarten in San Nicolas. From there, I started my education. Right at high school, the highest degree that I have is a master's degree also in international relations, political science, my major. Professionally, I've been working now for the last 2 or 3 years because I started professionally at the age of 22, working, and I'm happy to say that I've had
Mr. Bokwa, can you please drop the line and then re-enter the studio again because you keep coming in very low.
Let me try that.
Yeah, please do that for us.
Otigi, whether you play something on the background, are you listening to yourself at the background or what? Because
just drop the line and read.
Something is playing at the background and maybe in a phone.
Can you hear me now?
Like
very good. You okay now?
Okay.
That's
all right. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you are okay. You are much better now.
Okay. I need to get you. I'm not hearing you too clear, but okay. I think you can hear me, but I'm not hearing you too clear. I don't know. You're coming in low either.
You okay, right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. You getting us right?
All right. Okay, let's try it now. Okay, let me just go ahead. I'll try my best to hear you. I started my professional career in a corporate setting. I was working in the finance industry for a number of years. I started a real estate finance company at a fairly young age, and from there, did a lot of different things that helped me to invest in Liberia when I was living in the United States. And then from there, 2010, I moved back to Liberia. And as you all know, I contested in an election in Buyao in 2011. And after that, as many people thought I would leave and run back to America, I did not. I stayed here in the Salif government. Madam Salif's government offered me a position with LPRC as one of the executive management team members, as the head of administration. And I did that, and I've worked for LPRC. I worked for LPRC for the last 12 years. And after 12 years, I felt that I've done everything that I can do in that line of work. So I decided to retire early, leaving almost 13 years of service still ahead of me. And now I'm into the private life. Currently, I have a national school program called the Scholastic Excellence Program. And that's meant to help children after school with their homework, also life skills and different things that has to do with building good citizens. And also, I'm right now constructing a medical facility, you can call it hospital, that will help our community. And so professionally, that's what I've been doing. In a nutshell, there's more to it. There's a lot more, but I think we don't need to bore people with all my professional life. So,
I mean,
anything else you want me to cover?
You have the platform tonight, so we want to know much more about you, every single details.
Please, let me re-enter. The volume is so low. I don't know.
Okay.
What's going on?
Re-enter, please. Re-enter.
Okay, all right.
No, he's coming all good. No, today I deal with not dealing with a lawyer today.
No.
Somebody
today
different.
Is very fantastic.
Yeah, say he's tried to talk about few stuff here. So let's see, let he come, then we can try to.
Yeah.
Welcome our brother DK. Where he finished swallowing the GB now. He said, I don't see any booyah, but the issue is the actual Nibines. DK, you look at my last name. We are the actual Nibines. Some of you from Africa. See your need, there's no GB in it. Then you let GB business. Why? Yeah.
DK, let me talk for you anymore. DK.
No talking, no talking. GB9 your name, no talking.
And also the jealous of DK because where he is, you can't see somebody we made it around to coach GB for him, but DK always posting with Diva. When Diva can be preparing some kind of nice thing for you, so I'm also jealous.
That man is in Minnesota. That man is hiding his identity.
Hiding identity?
Yeah, you don't want to credit
Minnesota getting fearful. You don't know they shoot them on representative weapon. All of people last night.
That stuff was terrible.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we're hearing you. Can you hear us too as well?
I can hear you much better now.
Okay, that's great. So you already introduced yourself, and we said that it's okay that you dive into the introduction vividly because the platform is given to you tonight for you to make yourself known to our followers, especially those that are following from the district who have not known the name Bokwa Miamen and the impact Bokwa Miamen have made in the district. That's why we basically call you here tonight. And I will want to go strictly into our conversation, but let's start with your introduction. Maybe any of the panelists have a question to that before we go into tonight's discussion, basically about the district.
Yeah, Mr. Colonials Bokwa Miamen, welcome to the platform.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Afonso Wongbo. I hail from Yaoglali.
Okay.
In your introduction, you mentioned about your investment in Liberia when you left from the US. You came and contested, you did not go back, you left here and you invested in Liberia. And you also worked for 12 years on an early government in LPRC. I want to go back to what you said about the investment. Which type of investment did you have in Liberia and where?
It depends. If you're talking about personal investments, I'll get to that. But if you're talking about things that has to do with the community, let me first start with that. If you go into our district, before I even came back from the States, I was instrumental in the Lola church that is there. To be honest with you, I'm not very comfortable talking about things that I did for people, but because of the platform and the situation that we have, I will delve into it. If you go to Florida, you have the Women's Center there. You go to Tiaplobulia, the clinic that was being headed by Mr. Jackson Kwagu. I was a major supporter of that. You come to Weir Newtown, you will see that there's another women's center there. There are a number of bridges. The Beepley Eland Church. You can go on and on about that. But one of the things that, since I've been here, that I'm very proud of is the human capital development. While I was at LPRC, I was instrumental in several of our citizens into that situation based on their qualification and where we could help them. Even some people that were former expirants, or I helped them in that process. So there are a number of things that I've done investment-wise, and also the ones that you do for people privately. They're numerous. You cannot even go into it. So those are just to give you a summary of what I've been involved with.
Okay. In our country, we look at the investment when it comes to human capital you're talking about. You talk about churches, women center. How do you look at, building or maybe helping with women's center, and what sustainable, plan you have to maintain those women's center, if maybe you build them or you help them to build it?
Yeah. Well, one of the things you got to know is that I have this saying that I kind of use as an illustration. I can help you to be a better father. I can help you to be a better teacher. I can help you to be a better nurse. I don't want to come to your house to be the father for your children. So I also trust people when we do things for them to be able to take those things over and maintain it. And from time to time, we can come in because we don't want to create a dependency. What we have in this country is a benevolent politician that comes in. And what I mean by that is the do-gooder that comes in and only does it when he's in need of those people. So we have worked with the women over the time to help them to maintain it. I think if you go to those places, I was saying we were in Newtown recently where we did one of those centers. And to my amazement, they talk about even children that were there that have been helped in that place through their health process. So those things, we do it, turn it over to the people, and we work on the maintenance plan. All I can do is come in from time to time and to help people. So when you talk about over the time, I'm not super rich, and I don't claim to be. I'm only somebody that God blesses me, I bless other people. So we come alongside you and work with you. And the needs are the felt needs, but the real needs is what I think we'll get into that conversation later. When I say felt needs, what they see now, but the real needs are the things that cause those felt needs, means that the root causes of those things. And that's where my interest also lies.
Okay. Now I take you to LPRC, where you work for 12 years. I did not capture the role you had there. First, okay. I want to capture the role first.
Okay, just to refresh your memory, I told you that I was part of the executive management team, which is the team that leads LPRC. So I first served as the administrative director of LPRC. It was a new role that I took on, and the interesting thing about that role, it was not something that was handed to me. I interviewed for that position. Out of 360 individuals that were chosen, 16 were shortlisted, and I interviewed, and the deputy managing director at the time did it as a test. And whoever got the highest score on that test got the job. So that's how I got to LPRC. So I was the primary principal deputy to the deputy for administration, deputy managing director, that is. And so that was my first role. And then my last role before I left is that the current project that you see at LPRC, if you've ever visited LPRC now, where you see the new tanks, almost 11 tanks, not almost 11 tanks, from primarily for LPRC with water tanks and a semi-automated system that has been installed. That was my primary responsibility over the last few years, which is a project that went over $30 million. That I spearheaded, and we brought it to completion. And today, I'll give you one statistic that is good. Before, it used to take us 20 minutes to load 500 gallons of gas, but now it takes us 1 minute. So we brought LPRC from that ancient times to this modern period. So that was part of my job, primary professional responsibilities at LPRC.
Thank you. Let me ask my last question, then my other guys can come in. Now at LPRC, with your roles you play, For 12 years. It's not a small year, almost equivalent to a presidential term.
Yeah.
You talk about human capital.
Mm-hmm.
I know that how to do it. Maybe improving the livelihood of people, teaching them with the expertise and all of things. I know that. But coming back to NIMBA, because I'm jealous of development. NIMBA, we got LPRC in Ganta. But your 12 years, even though you were not a managing director, but you held some positions that you could even navigate your way in improving the LPRC in Ganta. Since the war, we noticed that the LPRC in Ganta are there in that room. What did you do to improving the standard of the LPRC in Ganta that was supplying almost the southeast and other places around Nimba?
Yeah, I think you made a statement that is very clear. I'm not the managing director. Even the managing director answers to a board, and the board answers to the president of the Republic of Liberia. So I am on the other end of, I can advise, I can recommend. The Gantas facility, from a policy standpoint, has not been taken to that level of trying to use it as a facility to supply gasoline across the country. And that's not the only facility that we have. There's another one that LPRC has. It's in Maryland, and then there's a land in Buchanan. And so when I was planning a project manager, there was a lot of talk about that. But in my time as the administrator, we made sure that we kept employees there. If you go there, you see people working around the clock. Almost 30 employees are in Ganta. And being from NIMBA, we protected those people. There were times that they wanted to shut those places down. Even the land issue that you have with the Batu family there, we worked through those things to secure that place so that it is there. LPRC is still in the process of deciding what to do with that. That was beyond my scope of operations. But the citizens that were there, I don't want to get too much, and I want to say I help people, but I don't want to get into the place where I become practice nepotism. So, but when they're qualified people, we help individuals from our county to maintain their jobs there. Peter Pay is a wonderful leader there. One of your guys that's very popular on this in our political landscape, Amos George. I think DK knows that very well. He was working there through my influence. So we did do those things. We maintained the place. There was a time that place was completely decayed. Through our influence, we were able to have that place rehabilitated, the living quarters, because that place was actually meant to be a presidential residence when they're in that part of the country. So we did all of those things. But the thing that I'm proud of is that we maintain our guys, and we even added people to those that are working there, because there's security, and then there's maintenance folks there, and then the project office is sometimes, and the outstation office and the operations office at LPRC. So it's not just a one-man thing. They're there, but we did, and through my partnership with Jackson F. Doe Jr., we were able to maintain our people and make sure that LPRC still is present in Ganta.
Thank you, Mr. Meme. I will turn it over to one of my colleagues to come in. I just tried to do that. I know you came here purposely for Booyah, but when you should have been elected as representative, you are not only there to represent the Booyah people, but NIMBA as whole. So that's why I'm asking you firstly, starting with the national to that level. So I hope you take that, sir.
Oh, and you can delve more into LPR. Let me tell you, there's no question that is off the table unless it's derogatory or it's illegal. Anything that will help to inform people about who I am and what we're about to do, or what we are doing, I'm very happy, very, very happy to be able to expand on it and also go into much, much more details. Thank you.
Okay, the host is here.
That's great. I mean, we have our veteran with us here, someone who has been into the political landscape of our district for a very long time. I always love to recognize him. He's one of the prettiest men from District 5. He has impact in the District 2 as well. So DK, welcome again to the show. And Mr. Bokwa, we are glad to have you here this evening. Now, before we dive into the original conversation for today, will you be contesting in this by-election?
Yeah, I will be definitely. The short answer is yes, I'll be contesting the by-election. And if you want to, you can ask me why. But I will be contesting, Lord willing, that I'm alive and I'm kicking as I am right now, and barring anything else, I will be contesting, no questions asked.
That's good. Others may say, have you consulted your constituent, your followers before making this decision? Have they reached out to you, maybe to petition you for you to contest? We want to know that too as well.
Okay. Yes, the short answer first, and I'll give you the long. Yes, my entry into this race is not just a singular. That was one of the questions that I asked people, that I didn't want to do this as I see some people doing, manipulating people to endorse them or petition them. People came to me. I was actually on vacation when, unfortunately, Senator Johnson passed away. So none of us were planning on this situation, but based on the fact that there was a vacancy created, and we all, for me, I supported the current senator, Honorable Koga, and I have a long history with Koga. 2017, out of all these politicians now that are coming to support Koga, I was one of the lead politicians to support Koga in 2017 and 2023, when other people said I was selling votes and stuff like that, when I think you know where I work and where I come from and the investment I've made in this country, that nobody has ever paid me a dime to support them. That's not my style. I think God has blessed me enough. I cannot say I'm wealthy, but I think I sit in a pretty good position to be able to resign or retire from a lucrative job in Liberia. Not too many people can say that. So I will be contesting the election, and it's been true. We did a listening tour, listened to people first, and heard the situation, what people are thinking, and what they want to see out of our district. And based on that, came back, sat down, consulted with my family. You know, they're very important. And we decided that it's the right time. I think politics is about timing. And I think this is the right time for me to enter into the politics, especially with my level of experience, education, and connections in Liberia and outside of Liberia.
Now, to this question, did you actually resign from LPRC, or did you maybe...
I retired. Sorry if I use resign. Sometimes it comes out that way, but I retired. I officially retired from LPRC.
That leads me to my next question. You retire, which is quite clear, and it leads me to my next question. You retiring from LPRC, which is a public area, a public serving area, and now anticipating of contesting in the upcoming by-election in the district, which of course you also contested before. Now, why do you leave the public sector at first and then coming back again to serve your people?
Those are two different types of public sectors. You're looking at LPRC as a technocrat, right? Even it's a state-owned enterprise. I'm a project man. We do gas. We store gas. We process gas. We do jet fuel. We do all of those things. That's different. The difference is this: when you become a representative, even compared to the senator, you are that person with that constituency. You represent them directly. You are responsible for them. It's a different level of responsibility, and also based on our constitution, it is a sacred place that we as people get the chance and the opportunity to represent people, to advocate for them, to speak for them. Through a written document that is called the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, that I believe that in order to be in that position, is a written document. You need to be able to understand it. And then also, I think I bring a difference to this election. I'm the only one that has sat in the public service, as you said. I'm the only one that has gone before the Senate and defended or proposed policies that are now in place in Liberia. I'm the only one that has gone and was part of the national energy policy that's been written, one of the writers, and I was a focal person for LPRC. I'm the only person that have done a true LPRC. We did a national education program, scholarship program, where we did a research under my time as an administrator. We did a research and found out that LPRC, as a technical institution, did not have enough technically trained classroom, or at a higher level, or even sometimes at a lower level. So the policy came and was proposed that we should do a leadership development program nationally. And I was the person that I was implementing that. And one of the things I was proud of, we did those things and we took it to the interior of this country so that students who were there will get everything they need to go to school. They didn't have to worry. All they had to do was focus on their schoolwork. And then during the vacation time, come intern at LPRC. From there, we did a leadership development program that went across that today we sent about 5 individuals to England and America. And today I can boast that the managing director of LPRC is a beneficiary of that program. The deputy managing director for operations is a beneficiary of that program. So I bring something that is different. I'm not just coming, when you want somebody, if let me use my brother DK as for instance, if he wanted to go and have something done medically to him, you'll not have a mechanic do it. So this is what we're talking. This is the difference that we're bringing. You have somebody with the experience, with the vision that comes from real life situations to enter into that office if I'm voted in.
Okay, that's great. We will limit the question to 3, and this is my last question. After that, we go to DK and then we turn over to the next panelist as we continue the show. Now, you contested in 2011, correct?
Yes.
And then in 2017, you stay back, correct?
Yeah, I stay back out of Booyah, yeah.
You stay back out of Booyah, and in 2023 again, you also stay back.
Mm-hmm. I stay back, yeah.
My question is, at that time, did you see the current senator as a very big contender that you cannot win against him?
No, I don't think so. Is that 2017 was a unique time for me. In 2017, I lost my dear mother. So I was going through some personal issues, and if I'm going to do something, I want to give it my best. And I saw that it was not the right time. I believe in timing. And also in 2017, I considered contesting, but it was not the right time. I saw the mandate of my friend and brother, now Senator Koga, that he needed to get some things done. But I also suspected that when the senator, now vice president, wins, that position will be open. And so I can say forward-looking politician, look and say, let's support Koga. Let me not be the one that comes and tears down, even if I don't agree with everything that is being done. Let me not be the one to tear down another man just because I want a position. And so we gave Senator Koga now the chance to elevate. And somebody could say, I saw into the future, not that Senator Johnson would have died. I thought Senator Kuhn, after he left, it would be a right time for Senator Koga now to go. And when he went, I supported him with everything that I have, and I was on the front lines for him. And so I believe in partnerships. I believe not in tearing down. We from one district, we're one people with many connections. But now that position is vacant, I believe I'm the best suited person for that position.
That's great. And we're going to turn over to DK to start his questioning from where we stopped. And if Alfonso would take over, then I will come in later. So we want to turn you around the entire panelist board so that you can be well perused by us tonight.
Okay, thank you.
That's great. DK, the floor is now yours.
Hey, thank you. Hey, big brother, how are you?
I'm okay.
Thank you, man. Why? So again,
I know, right?
Happy Father's Day too.
Miracle man, I forget people, but it's okay. I forgive you. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I think I have to get your contact for here to talk. But
okay. I know you're busy.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I'm guilty.
Yeah. Okay. No problem.
Yeah. So I think the questions are taking you now to Booyah. So let me start my question from what set you apart from all the.
Say that again, please. Let me hear you. Speak up, please. Oh, what sets me apart from the other candidates?
Yes.
Okay, 3 things. I love this question. Thank you. There are 3 things. Preparation, and I'll get into it. Experience and vision. Preparation is this. As I said just a minute ago, the Constitution is a written document. And so therefore, whoever is there on behalf of his constituents needs to have a clear understanding of what that constitution, and if not, have a direction as to where to go and find those things. So formal education is important. That's why I believe my degree, even though now it's been some years, as a undergraduate of political science, international relations, and then an international commerce degree, which looks at globalization. And I'm one of the few experts on ECOWAS, this whole regional integration policy studies and implementation. So, and then having the preparation, not just in the classroom, also on the experience or life experience. I think I've had enough of that. And then you come to experience. I just talked about it. I've worked not just locally, but I've also worked internationally. And I've also, while I was at LPRC, one of the greatest things I had a chance to work with two multinational corporations, meaning corporations that work across the world. I worked with Lutech. They built the LPRC facility. And then I also worked with Beer Mountain when they were building their tanks in the LPRC facility there. So I had that opportunity to work with people from all across the world. And so that experience, like I said, I represented LPRC, was a contributor to the national energy policy, working the current LPRC handbook. I was instrumental. I was the committee chairman. I can say I wrote the handbook, the first draft of it. So experience has been a part of it. And then a vision. You know, I'm looking at where do we see our district in the next 5 to 10 years, or even longer. I'm looking at, one of the first things that I look at is reconciliation. We're looking at social justice. We're looking at empowerment, education. And good governance. You know, people talk about transparency, accountability, and all this. If you don't have the resources or what you need, how do you even become accountable? Our district has been left behind. So with this vision, those three things, preparation, experience, vision, I think it sets me apart from those people, and my level of experience and the people that I know in this government and past governments give us doors that we can open, and we're already opening them, but we want to bring it to that stage of the national legislature.
Thank you. My next question would be, you participated in the 2011 elections, and you weren't successful. What were the factors that led to your defeat? And how
it's very simple. I think if I get you right, what was the, you finished?
I said, you got my question?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you said 2011. What were the factors that led to me not being able to be successful, right? Basically, that's what you're saying. Hello? Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. That was my question. Okay.
Well, first of all, it was my first time, after the Civil War. We were all returning back to Liberia. It was a great time. I think the short answer is that it was for me to get to know our people, get to know the landscape, and see how our politics work. Politics is politics, but it works based on the context, meaning the area that you're working, what the value system is, what people see. So I don't think I had anything wrong, but I think what it was for us as a people to get better acquainted. All that I've said from LPRC would not be possible if I had gone straight to the House. And so I had to learn that. And lately I told the people in the district, I said, I came as a child, and I believe now I'm a man. So I understand politics in the Liberian setting from an experience level, not just from a basic interaction. So my strategy has changed. My values have not changed, but the way of expressing it and bringing it to the people and being a servant to the people, I think we have adjusted some of those things greatly.
Thank you. To my last questions, I think you are from Yao Blue, and I'm from the same Yao, like the Alfonso. The issue about losing elections most often come from where you come from. If there are many candidates coming from your region, it contributes to your defeat. Moving to this by-elections in Booyah that is expected in August, I think on August 12th. My understanding is you are from Yaoblode. There are other candidates, potential candidates, also from Yaoblode. You, Colinas Bokua Meame, Takbo Aloshos Mamea, and Augusta Mekua. How are you guys working to see that at least a single candidate come from Blode, so that if the people in Blode want to support, their support will not be valid on family lines, so that at least one of you guys can come as victor of the penny by elections in Booyah? That's my last question.
Yeah, I think it's a serious question that has to be answered, but I think my way of looking at it, DK, is that I have to be Boko and do what I do. When I came in 2011, I didn't know DK Way, and you and I have a friendship, even though I want you to ask your questions as you see it fit tonight. I don't have a problem with that. So first of all, I'm a candidate that cuts across not just Yaoblode. There was a time that when people would look at the number of people I brought to LPRC, the people from Yao, some of them were personal with me, that I helped more people from the Yao area than those from outside. And that's because I cut across and I see people based on what you can bring to the table. And sometimes that's why people get angry, is that, oh, you're supposed to make me manager. Like, I have the control to make you a manager, but if I have to recommend you, you have to also have the requisite qualifications for that. So I'm somebody that cut across the lines. But I also want to let me get a little political with you. There are candidates and then there are candidates. Okay, there are people who have established records, people who came early. One of the things y'all said in 2011, the people said was that I was just coming. Now I've been here for almost 15 years. I know what it means to live here. I know what it means for people to go through hardships myself. So I think we will set ourselves apart in this election. And also, I think that question will be better asked after the certification process and see who stays in the race. There were some other candidates from the district. I don't want to come out and just announce, but now we're partnering in what we're about to enter into. So I'm a candidate that's reaching out to people to see how we can combine our efforts. But the biggest thing is, man, I cut across and towns and places. I have all of us here have different connections, family origins from the district. You can take me as far as Florida. I have deep roots there. So we're hoping that those things will work. But also, I trust the citizens of the district, that they will separate, they'll divide, they will be able to look through us and see who has the experience, like I said, who has the preparation, and who has the requisite vision to take us, not just to start crawling, but to start running, maybe one day to fly.
That's great. I think, Afonso, you can pick up from there. You have 3 questions to the Honorable, and then we will start another round again.
Okay, Mr. Colonius Meame. I'm still on the issue you mentioned earlier on the human capital development. Looking at our districts, when we maybe talk about human capital development, it will have to be concentrating on the technical skill, developing the technical skills. We will also have to be talking about building people intellectually, how to do education, building institutions, organizing or organizational, having the funding to operate. What do you envision that, if you are elected representative?
First of all, I think preparation and things of that nature doesn't start when a person is grown. It has to start from an early age. Early childhood education is very important. One of the things that I've been grateful for is that when I left from LPRC, I started a program, a prototype, meaning to experiment and see if this will work. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll sometimes see me posting from a program called the Scholastic Excellence Program. And what that program is that it works with elementary to junior high students right now. And it's free of charge. Right now, we have more than 1,000 students participating in the city of Bangladesh. Our family owns, and so none of us are here now, and so my father, our parent now, turned it over for work relating to human development. So we started a program there, and all it is that for 2 hours a day, from Monday through Thursday, a child that goes to school, instead of paying $20, $30, $10 for study class, we provide study class for them. And what that means is that a child gets a chance to focus on their studies. I was amazed that after the first semester in the first school, because now we're participating in 5 different schools, almost 20-25% of our students were given double promotions. And people look at our schools, and sometimes I heard before somebody said it's a mess. I don't think so. I think when you make the right investment into our students, they are going to be the best that they're going to be. And based on that, is what we're thinking is when they go through this process, vocational training is the next college level training. So what I will bring, and we already are going to bring the Scholastic Excellence Program. I didn't want to bring it now because people say you're not doing it because of elections. Is that we want to introduce that program in Muyao, where our students, because one of the statistics that you know clear across the world is that the most dangerous time for our students is not when they're in school, but when they leave from school. Their time, what is it occupied by? A lot of children, that's where they pick up bad behavior. So we are now going to introduce that for the early childhood development and work through the
Never, please save him.
Yeah, we are hopeful that he rejoin us again shortly. We are very hopeful of that. But if they never continue like this, it won't be better for us. Again, we'd like to say welcome to all of you who just joined the show this evening. You're listening to the Heat Hour here on BKS TV. And today we are in conversation with Mr. Colonius Bokua Miamen, one of the representative hopeful in the upcoming District number 5 by-election. To those of you watching the show this evening, we'd like to read all of your comments. If you're watching us, please make it your duty to comment on our page. So like I say, good evening to you and welcome to the show here this evening. Brunella, you're watching the show from Rwanda, East Africa. Aaron Wed, I don't know, it's Wed. You also watching the show from Johnsonville. He said good evening to Radio BKS family. I'm currently following you guys from Johnsonville Community, Monrovia. And he said he loved the improvement from BKS radio station, BKS TV in the district. And Mr. Paul Wuwatu is also watching the show. DD is also watching the show from Monrovia, Banaville community. Rosalind Tenga is also watching the show from Ganta City. And Sylvester Nuna is also watching the show. He said, great reception. I'm clearly receiving the signal from my location in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Congratulations to BKS TV Network. And we also have Alan Estokba watching from Sannicol in Nima County. And Abraham Yazi is also watching from BKS Studio in Boot Hotel. And Junior B. Zuo is also following the show this evening. He didn't post his location, but he's watching the show. Abiashon Kalitu is also following the show. And Mr. Viate Via is also following the show from Bongwe. So like I say, welcome to all of you this evening. It's a pleasant good time having you guys on the line here. You're listening to the Heat Hour on BKS TV. We are your panelists, Junior Payne, Afanso Wumbo, and DK Way. But we still await the honorable man to rejoin us. It's a beautiful conversation. If you're following the show, Mr. Miame, please use the link and rejoin the show. We still await you. And let's continue with the discussion today. But as we leave the guest for a while, I think we have to go to some other discussion. Afonso, your end. We are hearing some some disturbing news from your location, Minnesota. What's going on from your end? Very disturbing. Somebody shot somebody. One person was shot.
I had to be careful in the United States. They play not like Liberia where eating your cowboy, Egypt, anybody pass it become generated and start showing all information. I'll be not easy here.
We'll still talk about that. The honorable is back.
Back to my normal plan, if it's okay with you guys. I don't know where I left off, but we're talking. Can I come back in or?
Yeah. Continue.
Come on.
I was talking about education. So now you can drive into vocational training, but let's take it now as it is, because we cannot wait for 10, 15 years or 5, even 2 years. What we have to do is talk about human capital development. One of the things I think we've lagged behind on is that we have I think President Tolbert was very farsighted when he built that place in Dutroux. It was a means for us to connect with the Ivory Coast cross-border trade. And then another thing that I think we have not done a good job of is to attract the government's attention to pave the road from Saclay Pier all the way down, which will be paved also all the way to the border, which will increase our ability to attract investors. You see what's happening in Cape Mount, other places that we can attract, because we have one of the richest areas in the country, and we feed. The reason that we can advocate for this is that when you come to, I live in Groville, Douala here, when you come on Saturday nights, the food that is brought to that market is brought from our home. But look at the difficulty that our people go through for that. So we have to, those are the things that we have to get at a national level to be able to advocate for those things. Because we are a major contributor to this country, but I think we're being short what we're contributing to this country. So you need somebody that can see that. And also to attract investment. There are mineral investments in our area. The cocoa people are there, but we also have to work with them so that that money that is being taken out of our area, well, some of it will be reinvested in our people. If you go to my home, Blola, you go to the fairground at Turning Point in the middle of the day, you see so many young people standing there and have no option and feel that there's no hope for them. It's because we have not taken the time. We as leaders have failed in this regard. We have not taken the time to invest in those people as we should and to attract the government's attention into those places. So under Bokwa leadership, those are the primary things that we'll have to do. And also to create, last but not least, to create financial resource creation for our business people who can tap into it. There are other resources that people are tapping into. And some of that has to do with even our internet connection. We need to improve it so that business can be done there as it is done in Monrovia or anywhere across this country. So that's a starting point. There's a lot more to explore there, but I think that's a good starting point.
And now somebody just texted me and said I should ask you this question, and to add it up to my question to see if you will be different from others who answer them. Every time people want to go into politics, will always say, when I'm there, I will do this, I will do that. Every time they will want to do that, but their track records are different from what they want to do when they enter in politics. I want to know from you, why Mr. Colonials Bokwa Mame want to go into politics at this time? Why you want to go into politics? And all of these things he explained, he does not have the foundation there in the district.
Well, I think I just told you, I help Women's Center. That's a foundation. I help churches. I help business people within the district. I think that's a foundation. I created more than 12 different jobs for people that are from the district. I think that's a pretty good foundation compared to even some of our sitting lawmakers and our senators. I think for one person in one place. If that person says that, then I think that person has not been following my career or nor the conversation tonight. I'll be very honest with them. But also, let's be clear. I'm an individual. I'm not, I don't know when last somebody saw that somebody gave me $1 million. These things that we're doing, we're taking out of our own personal connections and resources. There are people who say we're crazy or I'm crazy for doing what I'm doing. You know, right now I'm constructing a medical hospital. You know, and you know, people will say, well, how can you just sit there? But if I just do it for me and others cannot do it for themselves, that's why I started a school program. Education when our neighbors are not. This is the type of person I am. When we saw there was a need to build a church in Blooming, we came. It was not for us. It don't even have my name on it. If they're not just in that district, you go to Seklapi, you go to Banga, you go to Tongwe, all these places we have handmarking different humanitarian efforts. So it's a pattern of life. It is not just, you know, that job. I was sitting at LPRC. If you check, thank God for LPRC. It's a handsome salary. But you know what? I came to this country not just to take money. I came to contribute. And I think this is a time to do it. And now God has blessed me with the experience and some level of financial stability to be able to invest in our people from that level. But my quest is not that I'm coming having it. I'm coming so that the keys that are in that office that can open doors for our people so that we will use it to open doors for our people. It's a quest to serve, not to be served. I'm willing. I'm not seeking. When you're seeking, you do all kinds of things to do it. I'm just willing. I left a job for it. I didn't even know there would be a by-election. But now the time has come. And so I'm ready.
Okay, and that's my last question to and Mr. Colonial Merman want to become representative because he's not seeking for it because he want to do it. Mr. Merman, your 12 years in government at the state-owned enterprise, one of the state-owned enterprises, say you were there working.
Yeah.
What is the relationship between you and the student of Buyao at this time? How many students did you help that are gone there and coming back into the country from Buyao that is happy?
Yeah. If you go to Ubusa, you look at the time, starting with the time that Alfonso Merman was there. Jimmy Woodward and those guys were there. Today you come where Lawrence Quarter now is there. You know, we have been part of that process. Even Lawrence is one of the people that benefited from my influence at LPRC. And even the secretary, Matthew Monson, is another beneficiary of my help. I gave both of them jobs at LPRC today that they're putting themselves through school. If you can ask Alfonso Merman, we contributed to the students. They're the ones that we can, tuition assistance with you know, books and those things, and there are a lot of personal requests that come in, not through just the office of the student organization. I just had a young lady call me tonight. She's looking for fees, and we do those things. And I'm not going to put their names out there, even if it means I'll lose an election. But there are countless people that you can ask that we have done those things. But we need to go further than just putting these students through school. We got to create opportunities that go beyond just graduating. If you look in Liberia, maybe let's take clear across the country. Let me just give you a quick scenario. 6,000 individuals graduate from university in Liberia. Less than 500 will have a job. So that means that every year we have about 5,500 students, and many of those students come from our district, are sitting. We have to push our government to create jobs. We're looking at places like Beer Mountain and other places. Our people cannot just be security guards. They cannot just be sweepers. They have to be part of management. They have to be part of, not just on the first day, but they have to be on that track to do that. So advocacy from that office is very powerful than an individual sitting where I sit now. But you have to give me that opportunity to be able to display that. So as far as helping the student community, we have been doing that, but I think we need to do more. We have failed them in the sense that they graduate, they pay all this money, they come to Monrovia, leave their families. We you know, one of the plans that I have is that we'll build a student housing at UL, and maybe if we have the means to do it in other places, that will cut down the costs for our students. That's one of the first things that I want to do, because I know the pain and suffering our students go through. So we're helping now, but there's more to do. I'm not one to say I've done it all. I'm saying I've done it and I've learned from it, and it means that I need to do more.
That's great. Very okay. We're having a fruitful conversation here tonight. If you just join, you're listening to the Heat Hour. Now, coming to my section of question, you contested in 2011, and I think you saw something in the district that were not right, and that's why you wanted to change. Now, from 2011 up to present, what are those things that you think the honorable senator, then representative, who have done for the district that he didn't do, that we will do for the people if elected?
Yeah, that's a good question. With all due respect to the senator, I think he did his part, and all of us will do our part, and then we leave it for others to take there. I think one of the things is that there has to be more development in our district in the areas of education, in the areas of healthcare, and business development for our people. You know, most of what has been done in our district has been done on the people's own effort, and only a few people can do those things. So I believe one of the first things that we have to do upon ascending to the office is that we have to have a district-wide meeting that we chart our development program. It cannot be done in my office. It cannot be done in isolation. It has to be done with consultation and really hearing what our people need. You know, during elections, I love my constituents, but sometimes they give you projects just to test you, and it's not a reality. That's why I'm saying felt need versus real need. You know what the real need is? The real need is that why our bridges are never fixed. That somebody will have to come and put, even myself, I've done it, where you come and put 3 planks there, then, you know, after one reading season, the bugs eat it and it dies away, right? It looks good because it looks good for the politicians. So I face this bridge. But you need to do something that it can be maintained. Public works need to, since I've been in that district, I've never seen public work car or even public work t-shirt. You know why? You know, even police presence in our district. If something happens to you, they have to wait maybe from Saniquale, from elsewhere before it comes. You know, these are the things that I think we need to improve on. Because, and one of the things that I want to institute so that we can bring those services to our people when it's available is constituent services. If during my time as representative, if you come from the district, you have an administrative issue, a business issue that you cannot handle on your own, I will set up an office at a central location, preferably towards the red light, because most of our people come on that side. That if you come there, we'll connect you with the right solutions. You see what I'm saying? And we'll also have a district office that does that same thing, that you can call there. That you can call there and people can help you from that vantage point. Maybe you come to Ganta, maybe you come to Saniquale. We need to have a presence in those places for our people. We are leaving our people at the mercy of others. And we that have the responsibility need to step in and make sure that our constituents are our primary, because they are your boss. They are your boss. The people are our bosses. But you know what we do? I'll be honest. During election time, we all just run there. Well, you do all that stuff. And then you come back to Monrovia, you sit down in your position, you enjoy it. No, under my administration, we will be visible in the district. And in that constituent office, my own presence will be there. It will not just be left to some office staff. You can come to the Capitol, fine, but I should also make it readily available where you are. Ganta should be a place that we can help people. It's a central location in the district. You come to the office, people can solve your problems there. Now we're getting better network. We can do that. But I've seen those things, and those are my personal things. It doesn't mean that what the senator did is deplorable or it didn't contribute. But that's the angle that I'm wishing, that we can be able to contribute to the forward march of our district.
That's great. Now, taking me to my next question. You only contested in 2011, and you didn't contest in 2017 and 2023. But there are some potential candidates that we're hearing their names, and some of those people contested in the year that you contested. Some of them contested in 2017, and some of them just contested in 2023. Now, who do you see as a potential, maybe opponent to you that you think is going to be a battle between the both of you?
I respect all of them. I will say that I respect all of them. But what I'm here to preach is my candidacy. They have to show what they can do. They have to prove what they are. I don't live their lives. Some people have good education. They claim they have good education, but DK knows there are schools and then there are schools. not because you graduate with a college degree don't mean that you went to the best place, nor have you had the best jobs. So I respect all of them, and I commend them. But I know Bokor Merriman will separate himself based on who he is, not just what he's preaching, but who he is and what he can bring to the table. And the evidence is all clear across for the last 15 years in this country and the last 20 years 25 years of my professional career. You go anywhere. I led a project at LPRC for the last, you didn't hear no noise there. It's very rare in this country that you see those things. So I praise God for it. It's not just me. We are grateful for that, but it's also what he put in me and I put to work. So there are those in the race. I'm not going to sit here and preach anybody's politics. I preach my own politics. Let them do their own job.
That's great. Now, taking me to my final question before we go to DK. You from a town that we're hearing another 2 persons coming up from your town itself, and your support base firstly start from the town you're from. Now, what will be your response if the elders of the town, the youth of the town, and the women of the town call you or call me to stay aside and support another candidate from the town?
I'm somebody that listens to my elders, and my father also is an elder. He's my old man that I plot the new one from, and I respect elders. But to do those things, it has to be done on an objective level before it comes to a subjective outcome. Meaning that those things that I just listed for you, because when I was supporting Senator Koga, those 3 questions that I asked myself, what was my preparation? What was his preparation? What was his experience? And what was his vision? I answered those questions. I think he answered those better for me. And if we do that, anything we do has to be similar to that, not just on relationship. But here's what separates me in that town or in that region from the others. I was in this race in 2011. Since then, I've been here, I've been contributing. I've not just been far away from politics and those things. I think I have more experience. I think I have more underground knowledge. I have hand marks everywhere, not just because of recent politics. Even before I entered into politics, I was doing those things. And so we have to answer those questions before we can make that decision, because our quest needs to be guided by objectivity, not just, because sometimes our election becomes like town chief vote. DK from quarter, so I go with him. If that was the case, I would have never supported Senator Koga. When other people were just supporting people because of their familiarity. And sometimes, familiarity leads to a bad outcome because it's not based on the truth. It's based on my personal feelings. So in that process, it will have to be a process that will have to be explained in a way that would make sense to all of us. To be able to reach that outcome. But from what I know, my elders look at me, I think they've made the case that I came long ago. It's time for me to give me the chance to show what I can do for our people.
That's great. Thank you so much, DK. We turn over to you now.
Thank you once again, Brother Colin. So, what would be your number one priorities? Number one priority if you are successful in the by-elections for Booyah.
The first thing, if I'm getting you clear, the first thing is, first of all, to get our people to understand what a representative does. I think there's a lot of misconception. And we are there to advocate for the national cake, to bring a part of that to our people. Yes, there's some expediency things that you do to help people personally. The first thing is to really understand what this job means. And the second thing that is very important is to bring the entire district together, if it's a representative in nature, to decide what are our key issues. Like we have so many. We have roads, we have healthcare, we have schools, we have women's care, we have violence, we have, these things that are taking place. I want to hear from the people and we'll decide those things. I have my own understanding of it. But first of all, it's uniting our people behind a development agenda. Right now, we're divided greatly in our district. You're hearing a lot of noise. Oh, I'm from this side, this person from this side. We need to unite. That's why I wrote under your moniker there, Booyah Unite. That's my motto for this year. That's my slogan. Booyah needs to unite behind development. And you have to have the right person that can shoulder that opportunity. Let me just remind you quickly. It's exactly 40 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, that Jackson Doe won an election in this country, was cheated. And Booyah had the opportunity to show what it is that we can do in this country. And I think 2025 is a chance for us as a people to come together, we the people coming together to get behind the right person that can carry that vision. I'm not going to stand here and say I'm Jackson Doe. I don't think I'm even worthy to tie his shoes. But I emulate him, I study him, I learn him. He's my uncle. We're blood relatives, but I'm not going to be the one to say I'm the reincarnation of Jackson. I think that's too ambitious and too industrious for your own political gain. But he is an example of what we can do. We can do the same thing, unify behind one person and see the outcome that we need in this country.
Thank you. Thank you. I love your response. And my next question to you would be, I know there are three cardinal responsibilities for lawmaker, which is lawmaking, representations, and oversight. Those three roles, if you are successful in August to represent our district, which one of them will you tackle? Because in your response to me, you said you need to clearly tell our people to understand the role of a lawmaker. So which one will be the cardinal? If lawmaking will be number one on your agenda, what law will be your number one on the agenda upon taking office that will benefit the people of Buyao and Liberia at large?
Correct. Thank you. One of the major thing, I think all those things are important: oversight, lawmaking, all those things. But I think it all begins with lawmaking, because based on the laws is where the national cake is then distributed to the people. One of the things, DK, I think you're working in that area. I think there needs to be a block created in the House of Representatives, not based on county, not based on region, but based on rural populations. Because most of the time, most of the guys that I see passing laws in that house are those from the more attractive areas. We need to have a rural idea that this country is not Monrovia. This country is not Ganta even. This country is not Kakata. This country is mostly rural citizens living, contributing, suffering, striving for their children to be the best they can be. So we have to now pass laws that create that block that we can pass those that favor those communities. If we don't, we will be creating two different societies or two different Liberians. We need to change that. A rural school is different than a city school, right? The way the rural people think is different. Right now it's farming season. If you go right now for the politics, it's difficult because if you go into towns, people are gone, right? So what will enhance our farmers? We've been using cutlass for long. Why if we start getting small hand tools that make it easier for them, that take the stress off of our people? We need to pass those policies that look beyond the attractive city lights into the places where this country is really being lived. It's in the rural area. So one of the first things in that house is that we've got to create an understanding of what rural life is like and what the laws of this country have to be created. What laws have to be created to make sure that we are able to address the issues that concerns my people.
Thank you, Mr. Merman. My last question on this segment would be, there's this growing debate concerning Esala Meta, their contribution to the county. Some term it as neglecting the community, not doing well for NIMA, the affected communities, and also their counter debate to what the NIMA Legislative Caucus have been proposing to Esala Meta and the government of Liberia. What would be your role if elected in the Esala Meta debate, and what you think should be
okay, that's a very
good question.
Once again, that's a very good area of discussion. One of the limitations that those of us who are not in the house are privy to the details of some of these things is that we don't know. But based on what we are seeing, I'll give you my own short history of it. My uncle was one of the people that helped the original person that surveyed that Lamco area for Lamco, the company at the time. And if you read the history, those companies, those concessions were owned by partly owned by Liberians who had interest in it. So what happened over the years is that, let's just use this figure. If ArcelorMittal made $1 million, there are certain Liberians that got 100,000, 50,000, and they had interest, and they also had control in the government and rules or the administration of the government. So that's a problem that we hope doesn't still exist. Number two, I was just reading recently, I'm not privy to the details, but that, let's take Beer Mountain, for instance. Beer Mountain is making $800 million, which is almost $1 billion, right? And Liberia is receiving what, less than $35 million. For you and I, when we hear million, it sounds plenty, right? But if they're taking $800 million, that means most of that money is being drawn out of this country. My position is this, and it's not just ArcelorMittal, on any concession. It has to, first of all, have local content at the level of making decisions. One of the PPCC laws, being familiar with it, even the contract that we did at LPRC, this is something that we fought for, is that there are at least 25% of what is brought into the, or is done in that project that we were doing, had to have a 25% Liberian representation, contracts, employment, and all of those things. And yes, it is in the contract, but we struggle to make sure that that was realized at the level that it needed to be. And I suspect same things that is taking place with ArcelorMittal. My position as a lawmaker would be, yes, we have given this concession away. All of us wish we Liberians had the means to be able to do that work ourselves. But in that phase of it right now, for me, from Booyah, we need the cake that comes from there. I'm hearing, I don't know, 3 or something million. I don't think it's enough. It has to be increased. Secondly, our people have to get better employment. I got some boys from Raleigh that are over there. When you hear, oh, I go up the mine, they're pretty much at the lowest ebb of life. DK, I don't know all the details of it, but what I do know is that whatever leaves that mine needs to benefit our people. I was passing by Ganta the other time to the railroad track, and that train was passing. Man, I saw what was leaving our country. It is the same thing that happened with logging in this country, DK, where you see our road going to Booyah, it's only one lane. Do you guys know why? Because it was meant for the logs to leave our country. And it's the same thing with the railroad track that is taking place there. So from a Booyah perspective, we will push that the blessing or from our own mineral resources that comes to us must be increased. And also our young men and women should not just be those who are there to say yes, sir. They should be also decision makers in that place. So that's where that will be my thinking, and that's where I will start pushing from.
I think I'm done with my questions. Alfonso is
yeah, okay. That's great. So we might probably go for the last round with us. I'll begin with myself, and then we go for the last round, and our guest can give his parting statement to leave us tonight. But again, I want to say thank you for honoring our invitation to be here tonight, Mr. Miamen. It's a wonderful show, and I think most of your followers are also following. Mr. Bob Evans is following us tonight. Alfonso Miamen is also following the show tonight. So it's a beautiful show. And now let's get to this part. We are very positive that every candidate contesting in the election, they are all competent enough to be a representative of the district. Now, my question to you would be, you have this wonderful plight, this very good plight for our district. But what if tomorrow you are not the successful candidate to be elected by the people? Will you still work with the next person that is elected to, share these ideas with that person?
If the person is, first of all, I don't think about the plan B right now. I'm thinking about winning. But let me just think as you are thinking right now, because it's not part of my thinking. Yes, I mean, Booyah belongs to all of us. Once that person is legally duly elected, he will be, or she will be the lawmaker. And we will work along, as I did with now Senator Koga. We worked along. We have a good, decent relationship. So we'll continue to do that. But mine will go beyond that because our people need more. Our people will push that our people get better. Our people get what they deserve. Our people are empowered into the future. So I'm not really thinking about who's going to win other than myself because I'm investing everything, but I respect everybody in the race and I welcome them.
Now, Butu is one of the, I mean, District 5 is one of the districts that has the largest, landscape and also with population. Now, there have been this debate about increasing the clans within Nima as a whole, and Butu is also part of that, the chiefdoms. Now, if you go to the House, will you be in support of such a bill, and why?
To increase the districts?
Yeah, that means to add some chiefdom to the districts.
Yeah, I think the Constitution was very practical, and in any electoral politics, I think they recommended constituency, that number that's required, if I'm not mistaken, should be around 22,000. When people were thinking about, this thing about dividing them, I'm one of those people that was against it. What I do prefer is to increase the number of districts so that the attention to those people can increase. But however, the thing that binds us, not just the physical, the boundary that we have, it is our common bond as a people from that district. And it will not stop it, but I don't want any division in number, but I would closely look at increasing the number of districts so that development can be increased, because the attention that will be given to them will be more specific. Yeah.
Now, to my last question before we go to Afanso, Buea is a very big district, like I said previously. Now, if being elected in Monrovia, you will be in Monrovia most often, how do you intend to reach out to all of the district's people?
Say that again, sorry. How do I reach out to who?
When you are elected, Buea is a very big district with the workload from Monrovia and all of that. How do you intend to reach out to your people in the district, covering every town?
I want the people that believe that it's your responsibility that as soon as session is done on Thursday, for most weeks, you should be in the district meeting with your people. That's a chance that people get to see you. That's a chance that you get to hear what's going on. And that's why we also have a district office that, once you enter the district, you'll be able to hear what's going on, including visitation and seeing people. I recommend that a lawmaker should be in constant contact with his district. It is very important. And even that's why I'm recommending, and I will implement this, is that I will have a Monrovia office. Not everyone can come to Capitol Hill, so that, on maybe 3-4 days a week, I myself will be there to meet with the people. Even if they don't come to my house, I'll be there, because sometimes transport is difficult. Our job in that office is to serve our constituents. If you don't do that, then you will fail the people. You might not always have the answer, but be an ear to listen to what people are saying. Be able to empathize, be able to feel what they're feeling, and be able to show emotion to them. It's the first sign of a person that cares, before you can even bring your big discussion of what you can do. People need to know that you're human and that you can relate to them.
Thank you so much. I close on this discussion for tonight. Let's turn over to Afanso, and we'll end with DK, the veteran.
Sorry.
Yeah?
Welcome again. Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, so our politics in Liberia, your success or victory in elections sometimes has some factors, and some of those factors range from influential, people in the district or your constituency. Sometimes look at your activities within your constituency, and sometimes, and many a times, they look at your political affiliation. What is your political affiliation?
I'm from Glory. I'm a Liberal Action Party man. That's where my political affiliation stops.
Okay, Liberal Action Party. Why you laugh?
Business people, but that's what our dream still is.
So, Liberal Action Party man, what is your relationship with this current government?
Oh, you know, Liberal Action Party is this current government. The current president that you see, the last time I met in his office, we discussed Uncle Jackson Doe when you and our current president were 1985. Those are the people that were sustaining Jackson Doe when there was nothing there. Those are the people that were there standing with him. I think even his daughter works in that office, and our sister Miriam used to work for him. So Unity Party, we stood with them in this election. I voted for Unity Party. It doesn't mean I'm a party member, but I believe in their agenda, and for the most part, I have my own take on certain things. But I'm not a person that fights organizations, but I think my thing is, how do we make those organizations function better? Because Liberia is our common denominator.
So, do you see yourself being supported by this party when they have MDR, which is one of the party in that district?
I'm not seeking. I'm going to announce my political affiliation, and I believe it deeply. It does have a name, but I'm not going to be seeking that. I think there are those who have been on the front lines with those kind of politics. For me, I'm with my people. That's who I care about. Party politics sometimes kind of frustrates me, because sometimes you don't get the right person because who they're connected to. The man that sweeps in your office could be as powerful as anything because he's connected to somebody way up. So for me, I'm connected to my people. That's where our power, that's where our integrity, that was our history, our legacy. That's where it comes from.
This is my last question. I think this question will be the last question for my end. I'm looking at Mr. Colonias Bokwa Meame as a citizen, not a contestant, but as a citizen of Buyao, and take into consideration Mr. Meame do not want to contest. He's just one of the voters in Buyao. And looking at all of those candidates, you are not part of them, and you are not contesting. Which one of them do you think is qualified and capable to become the winner of the election?
Who do I think is qualified?
Qualified and capable and have the popularity to become the winner of this election.
I said this before. I think they all have their things that they will tell you, and then when they come on here, they'll present it for you. I'm not here to make a sales pitch for another man. He'll have to do that, and his record will have to stand for him. But I respect everyone as citizens. They're all my friends and brothers and sisters, if there's a sister in the race. But I am not here to preach their case. I am here to tell you who I am and what I bring to the table and where we can take our people. So I don't focus on people. Some people, the last 12 years I've been yelling around here, abusing their friends. When they have failed to invest in themselves, to prepare themselves for this moment. It says chance favors the prepared mind. And there's another saying, if the kind of future, you create your own future. And I think some of our brothers have done a poor job of creating their future. They need to invest in themselves.
Mr. Miame, my question is, you are not contesting. Let's take it that way. You are not contesting at all. I just want to know, those candidates say you are not contesting like me. Who do you think you win the election? That's what I'm saying.
So just do me a favor and forget that I'm not contesting. I'm contesting. I'm not thought of that.
It's very clear. You answer the question.
He's actually okay, DK.
You know that.
Thank you, Colinas. I think when we started this, I suggested to the team that we needed to bring all the candidates and who be candidates to hear from them. And this is a booyah divisions. We're trying to at least increase the listening audience and at least reach out to our people. Thankfully, you became the first person to sit on our hot seat. Yeah, this is.
I like the seat. I like it. Thank you.
Yeah, so we just want to tell you thank you for appearing, and we look forward to all of you who are contesting. At least we want for all of you guys to win, because every candidate in that elections is going to the elections to win. That's a goal.
Yeah.
So we wish you all success. We hope to see you again. But is my last questions. You know me, and I know you very well. Our relationship go as about
Yeah.
Brother I stay in communications here. But I need to
Yeah.
at least reactivate our relationship at least so we can be talking.
I appreciate it.
What is the number one thing that you think you can do to win the minds and soul of people going to these elections?
Yeah. I think, DK, that's a very good question. I think that's one of the best questions I've heard. The first thing is that our people are anxious right now. There's some fear. Koga has been with us for the last 12, almost 13 years now. And people are nervous that one is leaving, another is coming. And so when I listen to our people, their fear is they don't want to put into somebody's hands that's going to take us backwards. Even if we were not happy with certain things, the least thing we should do is to go backwards. And I think what my job is to ease the tension that they're faced with. To ease the tension. That's why my educational background, my experiences, my vision has to be aligned with bringing that ease of mind to our people. Nobody is going to come into that office and pave streets of gold. But at least let's start moving towards that direction. And I think our people need to know that they have, we call it Prince Jonathan our Zodua. Muya needs a Zodua that they can rely on when things are difficult. And you need somebody that will not, when they tell them small thing, they jump into frustration, or somebody that when you tell them they go to sleep. I have been in place and had major responsibilities in this country, D, and we have lived up to those expectations, even superseded those expectations. And I'm bringing all of that now to Booyah 100%. And I can tell you that I'm going to be that Zodua that the people need. That when they're crying, I'll be there. When they're laughing, I'll also be there. And when they need that little push to get across the line, we're going to be there to make sure that the national cake comes and makes our people, empowers our people, and propels them to the next phase of life.
Thank you. Electoral violence across Liberia, Booyah not been an exceptions, has always characterized our electoral process. What is your message to electors, candidates, and their supporters as we approach the 12th of August for the by-elections in Booyah?
You're so right. That's one of the biggest concerns that I have. And not for myself. I'm one person. Anybody can get to me and do whatever you want to do. But just be prepared because I will respond. But not with violence, but to protect myself and those that are with me. But it is a big concern. I've been hearing some stories that even recently there are people who took some car licenses from each other. I heard recently there was a team that entered deeply. There was a lot of exchanges, running with motorbikes into the town. One of the things I tell my drivers always is that when we work for these people, slow down, speak to them, approach them with respect. Our culture is a traditional culture, and we need to do that. And one of that tradition is that we have a cordial relationship. There was a time where, the leadership of our county and even our district rotated in some fashion, right? And so when somebody else takes it, we need to respect that. We from Yao, especially myself, when Koga was there, we gave him the respect that we never, like I said, I'm not one to come and tear down, but I want to encourage our supporters. This thing, we, the people that are running, a lot of times we're very good friends. We meet, we laugh, we joke. Your thing is to find the best person to lead. And harming another person does not make you more right than anybody else. Where your right stops, where that means that there's limitation to your rights, that where another person starts. And if you break the law of this country, the law will deal. You've seen what's happening in the court system in Monrovia now. You have lawmakers. I'm not saying they're guilty or not yet, but they're being dealt with through the law. And so we, the regular citizens, have to also know that if you break the law, you will be dealt with the law. And one of the things under my administration, we will make sure the police presence in our district is there not just to come after the fact, but to do prevention. So we that are running, it should start with us. We should sign a memorandum of understanding. You up here should bring that to our friends that we should sign an MOU that we will not allow our people to descend into any form of violence. It cannot happen. I don't want to lose anybody in this process or anybody get harmed. If that's the case, then I will be the first person to step aside because it's not worth me winning for somebody else to lose their life or lose their physical ability. So I agree with you.
Thank you so much for that questions. So those are messages that we need to be sending to all our people across the district, that this seat is just a single seat. One person will have to occupy the seat to represent all of us, whether we support you or not. My last question for me to be done is, our district is predominantly the agricultural hubs of NEMA. We are the higher producer of cocoa. In fact, before then, I remember Gowachofi in Monrovia, Buya used to produce the higher pepper from NEMA to Gowachofi, plantain, and the rest. Are there plans to empower our people through agriculture, at least those who are planting the cocoa, their banana, and everything, so that at least there should be some empowerment for them? I remember when Representative Koga, now Senator, won the elections in 2011, 2012. There was some care motor that was donated to the district. I don't know the status of that care motor, but it was intended to ease the transportation issue our people face. Are there any plans to help our people in alleviating the constraint they face in transporting their goods and to the various markets, including bringing them to markets in Monrovia?
Okay. Yes. Very good question again. First, I'm a lawmaker, right? So we have to start with the law. We have to protect our people. Public policy is made for the people, to protect them. So I see some cocoa companies, I don't know the details of the understanding between our people and them, is that just fixing roads because the roads really benefit the companies, right? Human social development needs to be prioritized. That if you are a company that's calm, is making money, partner with our people, you're making money, you need to be required to do certain things for our people. Three things: the healthcare, the education system, and the very agriculture that we're talking about. I was talking earlier about simple handheld tools that if you go to China, you can get them very cheap, that can help our people to, instead of this real manual labor, intensive labor, to reduce some of that. We look at people, and these are not expensive things. There needs to be policy passed that these kinds of equipment need to be acquired for our people. But it all begins with first protecting the rights of our people against foreigners that come to do business. Not just them being alive, but that they also benefit, and they too can go into that one day soon, that we will have our own people that can be the ones heading some of those corporations on their own, not always working for somebody. And then from there, the money that is generated, portions of it needs to go to our school system. Right now, yes, DK in America, all of us sitting here, we're all sitting in other parts of this country or in the world, right? Booyah needs to be I want to make Booyah a destination, not an exit point. And how do we do that? Is by protecting our people, especially our farmers, because that's our biggest and our richest resource. So you're right. So it begins with tools, it begins with education, it begins with better seeds, it begins to diversify what we plant, increasing the rice production. One of my friends used to say, when I say, how you doing there? He said, man, in Gil, you say, if you call, hunger will answer behind the house. And these things are still there. But we have the land, we have the human resource to do the work. So we have to protect our people with our laws, but we also have to make it so that it is brought to their level and their livelihood improves. If we don't do that, then we have failed them, and mostly we have failed ourselves.
Thank you. John, you can take on.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, DK. Before we take leave of our guests this evening, we want to say thank you for honoring our invitation to be here. As always, we'll extend our invitation to you even after the process to appear on this platform to inform our people about your workings and all of those things. But again, our folks tell me to inform you that yesterday was our program in Butu, and unfortunately, you didn't attend. And secondly, we also want to officially inform you here that we want to partner this year with DUCOR Debates to conduct a very short debate in the upcoming by-election in the district. You know, it's very short, so we have to inform all of you like this. So hopefully pretty soon we'll be conducting a debate in Butu in collaboration with DUCOR Debates, where we are anticipating all of the candidates to be in attendance for that day. So we are hoping that after your registration, when we send you a letter, you will also attend the program, because a lot of folks want to see your intellectual ability, because going in a house there, we look forward to the intellectual, battle between you and the other lawmakers to, represent our people. But before, again, while you do your part in comment, maybe you could throw a little speech in Gil for us.
Well, kasu bengi aya mwika beg makwa district a development zin kwa kwa dia me kwa asite dokwa dira ka won gba kwa ba ke and wa go ma pe ke and build ka polo go ma ke nwa ke gwa kwa ba so me o ka o ko su kon phone wa ke ese ka do pogba ma de power dan you wa ka paul ye de o mo ka kon gwa kwa district ba kwa sare kwa do kwa ku kwa me kwa me ma bo kwa me awe aka pele ma lo school ma you ka sere ya you ka LPRC ma ponu do ba zie gbole ma so ekonoma do no wa ko e floor we Newtown even Jackson kwagu a de ko e te apobere ma nkwata ponu pe agbuwa ka ayezi ma kan wo sare ka apo ekma ze to me ero ka me pe ka ero dokwa dida kwa me ma were nto bo kwa me ka so.
That's really
so
great.
You were testing the ability, the geospatial ability of the.
Yeah, because I woman high. You can't speak Gil. You are in America. Some of y'all ladies can't speak Gil.
Mr. Kalina, again, that John said, thank you. We will bring all the candidates one at a time, but if we find it feasible, we will pay at least one or two of the candidates in studio. This is just for us to talk about Buyao. We want to focus our attention, like you describe Buyao as our destination. It should not be our exit point. We want to focus all our activities in Buyao. Even after the elections, that discuss Buyao. What can we do? If even we can say, okay, let's do a data rally for Buyao. Let's focus on Buyao. Let's make Buyao our final destination. That will not be our exit point. Like you said, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Finally, before we take leave of you, what do you have to tell the people listening to you?
Well, first of all, I want to tell my, I didn't want to say this before, but Brother Alvin Seca, I think this is your vision. And now you have people that are you're bearing that vision. Now they have joined you in this effort. I think it's a grand idea. It's a great idea. We need this to expose our people to who their leaders will be, and this is a great way into that. Now to our district, as I just said, in our Don language, it's not a dialect; it's a language that we as a people need to be careful who we select in this election. If you look, I'm not condemning our country. In 1985, my people, we had a chance for this country to select Jackson Dole to lead this country as in the fashion. I think it would have been much like what Mr. Boakai, President Boakai is leading this country, but we missed our opportunity. And when we missed our opportunity, it took us almost 30 years to get back, 40 years almost, to get back to where we are today. So elections are very important. Elections determine the direction of our country. God has also ordained leadership. So I have spoken to you today. I emphasize three main things: preparation, experience, and vision. And I gave you all the points to that. Every lawmaker or aspiring that comes here, ask them those same 3 questions. Ask them what have been their preparation. Yeah, fixing bridge is one thing, but sitting at the Capitol and discussing, those 3 cardinal functions, displaying it, it's a whole other thing. We will not once again be where people say, well, this is not an ABC class. You have to be prepared. On day 1, I, Bokwa Merriman, will be prepared to represent you because I have the preparation. Education is there. I have the experience. I have 12 years of exemplary example right in front of you, right here in Liberia, and I presented our vision. It starts with unity of people before we can even get to progress and developing our district. We are one. Let's go together and let's fight to find the best person. And I believe I am the best person because of those things I listed. May God bless you all.
God bless you. It was a wonderful time being with you this evening. Until we meet again, be blessed and wish you all the best in the election. Be victorious.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You just listen. You're not going. That running, you showing you're not going.
I was just waving to our guests.
I think that's the best thing to do. So that's it. You just listen to Mr. Cornelius Bokwa Merriman. He served as our first, as you say, second who be candidate for district number 5 by election. And you listen to him.
Who was the first?
One, Paul Woa.
Alfonso, we are not hearing you. Alfonso, we are not hearing you.
I'm saying Paul, that guy said he don't know a way out yet until they know the time comes. So, but this is the first person.
So this is the first person who have declared his way, his
intention
that he will contest. So we're looking forward to the election. I mean, we don't know. These Americans, they just appear in a country from nowhere to contest. DK might be one of the potential candidates. You don't know. You see, he might be strategic, but you see the American, when a man won't come out like to gain relevant, they just drop in politics. I'm just DK on that one.
If I want to contest, you guys would not be pushing me. I know the terrain. I know the terrain. I know the working of the place. I know what to do, but I'm not contesting.
You will still come Minnesota to me. I know him.
If I'm contesting, I will just need you guys' endorsement, and I'll be going. In fact, I will seize the BKS radio station. I will be on it every day. I will be a candidate and be a panelist. Every day.
We would need a candidate and a panelist. Yeah, that would help us to make it.
Yeah. So what do we have for next week or this week?
So we probably will be bringing on our friend and our brother Koto Kwagu. Koto might be appearing here pretty soon. He told us that he will give us update tomorrow. Whether he will appear on Friday or Sunday, we don't know yet.
So let get the same description to all the candidates. So when you bring in one, you describing your friend and brother. That priority will be candidate. So
okay, we'll bring one of the will be candidates here. But
I love the question is we nobody was questioning somebody here like, oh, okay, I'm for this, I'm for this. They continue to be open-minded.
Only Alfonso went there for the honorable to declare his support for another person.
That was impossible. Yeah, and he kept pushing him. When the man is saying, okay, I'm a candidate, already, so I can't be the one. So one question I wanted to ask is this program being aired on BKS?
Yeah, they're supposed to air it today. Someone was in studio to air it, but I don't know whether they did so, but we get back to
so that should be because when you bring in a candidate, their goal is when they're talking to us, there are people being in the district to hear them.
Yeah, but hopefully by maybe next week, we will conclude our conversation with Radio Nima so that it can be airing the show like 3 times in a week. Hopefully.
Yeah, Radio Nima, ADCO can also contact but you have your radio station. It should be the first priority.
How they call it, Gion, you had to talk to the people they move to schedule if they have any program around 8 to 10. They have to change that.
The The problem we're facing Ubuntu right now is because of the network. Sometimes they start to relay the show, and at a certain point in time, they are cut off because of our network condition there. So that's the major thing. But they do relay the show once in a while, but because of the network connection there, so we find it a little bit difficult. But we're trying to connect
No,
with
I've been always in giving small excuses. So how does a radio station operate?
The radio station operates there on both the electricity and that of the tower.
Okay, we need to improve that. My only thing here is I'm very careful so that we can. Some of the candidate program will be aired on the radio station, and some will not be aired. I don't want us to be seen as okay.
Yeah,
they have to prioritize this other person. So if we are not airing on the radio station, fine, but we need to get them reasons why, so that at least they will know that. Yes,
we definitely gonna do that.
They tend to base on news script out of the Kennedy, statement, all that stuff from the show.
We definitely gonna do that. But your recommendation, DK, unconfirmed information that I've gathered is that pretty soon, Mandiba will be appearing here on the NEMA Women Hour. We don't know the date or the day yet. So she will be appearing with some other women from NEMA County specifically. It is their show time. They will discuss about NEMA. They will discuss about our districts in NEMA. They will discuss about the educational system in NEMA. They will discuss about the various universities that have been established now in NEMA, and everything will be discussed here. So we're hoping and praying that once she get her panelists.
Yes, I think they also have this organization called the Daughters of the Mountains.
Yeah,
so
that's the
okay. So yeah, so the daughter, they are very powerful people. So when the people come, we have to step back and get them the front seat to roll.
If you want to stay in front of the daughter, then you go stay on that mule.
They even have lawyers among them, so you can't go that way.
No, DK brave, you go there. I know you.
Okay, can we end the show now so I can go?
You can go, DK. It has been a wonderful show, but before you leave us, maybe you can give us a parting statement.
So our last guest, I think the Friday guest, he did well, but we need to be careful when, like the Boku and the rest of the guys who are going to elections, when they are speaking and they are speaking about electoral process and going after one another, that is election time. Anything that's outside of elections, we need to create at least the necessary checkpoint for all our guests and say, okay, yeah, because I think he agreed with me after the show that there was 7 districts in the place, because we don't want to push them all the time, because when you are coming to the show and you're giving information that are not factual, we don't want to push you because you are already our guest. 2, he came with this issue with the senator. I know when the senator was representing the district, yeah, you had issue that was fine, but I think there are some things he said wasn't right, and one point you corrected him and he had to let it go. We just have to be professional with one another, even in our disagreement, and be respectful. There were comments he made. Okay, I think Koga can be a sweeper to this person. Those comments are not professional, and they are not necessary. Nobody is my friend. I would not say that where somebody describing that way. So that those are all who are appearing on that show. Somebody will say, oh, you guys were the hosts, and somebody made those statements, and there was no need to correct that. We need to listen to our guests. Anything they say, we tell them to retract it or we correct them. If need be, if they don't want to be, we can get rid of them from the show. And so, okay, we have to end the show with you because those are policies like this, because we are growing and we don't want to create at least friction with people in the rest. Let be respectful as we proceed. That's my only observation from the last show. Overall, it was great. It was brilliant. And we can bring him back and stuff. The only thing like I told you guys the last time when we started, we are from a small place. All of us are connected. So when we doing the politics and we just go after one another, it's very small community we find will be issue. Anthony that was here is my friend. He knows me very well. But who that came from here knows me very well. So all of us are somehow connect. There will be no candidate that you will be here that I don't know personally. So let's have open discussion. Ask them the basic thing that within Booyah name. Yes, okay, Booyah doesn't have roads. There are some communities that doesn't have school. There are some communities that Caterpillar have not gone to. There are some communities there that to get access to health care. Those are tough questions that we need to ask. And so you can't ask anybody those questions and they say, oh yeah, Alfonso is hitting me hard. No. But anything personal about somebody's life and this, I don't have interest. I'm not perfect. I'm not. So that's the only thing I would say. Somebody say, oh, maybe your relationship with another do. Nobody is not perfect here. Only Jesus Christ is perfect. So that continue the engagement. Thank you very much, Chief, the host. I hope that the next time we appear, Alfonso will be the host. Like I said, I'm staying serious about that, and we need to discuss it. So thank you.
I see you.
Yeah, I see you when I see you.
Yeah, before
you begin, there are people that beyond the candidates, we can bring other citizens. We can bring more here.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk basically about our region. Let's talk about our experience. There are people who you are in Kigali. Let's bring people, experience people from the district. Let's just talk. You are in Kigali. What's the experience in Kigali? Let's bring somebody that is in Ghana. Let's bring source of Booyah. Let's focus on everything about Booyah. And
yeah, our country, we don't talk about it so much on the internet.
I
see you. That means your talk.
Okay. See you.
See you. Yeah.
The only
You mute yourself. You mute yourself. You want to? You mute yourself. You want to?
DK, your cybersecurity project, you have to take it to the district. You have to find something in the district to do.
Now you say you want me. Jelly. All I want to talk is bien goba.
What you talking about?
Yeah,
we are saying your cybersecurity project, your final project, it should be about the district. You know how our network is looking
like
at
I said, you left on Liberia, you doing one of the things I want us to talk about. In Liberia, most of us go to school. Somebody want to do public administration. Who why you want to do public administration for? All around the world, people go for STEM. Can we encourage our people that students from our district should go in science and technology so that you can find job any part of the world? Somebody go to school and say, I'm doing sociology, which is good. When you graduate from the university with social degree in Liberia, what job will you do?
They got plenty of people
to go to science. Encourage people to do agriculture, forestry, education, science and technology. That talk about are they political science that came here, are they education? Dude, I'm not getting the job I need. I had to go to science and technology. So that the world is evolving. What you can do now to get money? Why you didn't go there to say you're doing political science? Do political science to do what? Why you want to do political science?
It's a good.
I'm doing public policy. Public policy for what?
DK, it's a good discussion that we'll have it here. And I think even I myself, maybe I might defend the art side while you might be defending the science side. But I do believe every profession has its own uniqueness. I do believe that. When you did criminal justice in Liberia, when you did that course, you had a job there, right? The course you did in Liberia,
so
you had a job.
Buddy, okay, Junior. How many schools in Liberia offer degree in criminal justice?
If I could count few, AME Zion is one.
Okay.
Neiman University.
That's a premier. So what I'm saying, I'm not discrediting whatever people do. I'm just saying around the world, what is in demand?
Yeah, okay, that's great.
Around the world, what is in demand is what I want us to encourage our brother and sister to go to. You can't graduate now and say I did social work, and you are not getting a social work job. But in the next 4 or 5 years, people will be looking for teachers. You do education, people will be looking for teachers. You do nursing. It's in demand. You do science and technology. People who do computer science, all the programming, you do programming, you doing cybersecurity, you doing data science, you doing this. People need them. You get the GSM company that need you. John, but you do public administration, for example. Who is really putting announcement out for public administrators? Check in the newspaper. Which
just a
company
little
is making that out?
just a little joke. You're that in a computer science field, you're that doing cybersecurity, you're that doing networking, programming, all of these things. I will sue you all one day for creating AI. I will go plead in court. I can be saying I am reading a whole lot of things every day. One time I saw on the internet, there were AI in a courtroom preaching.
So yeah, it's a difference.
We have to take issue here.
Here in the developed world, I don't know whether you practice that. Those are things we need to talk about. AI is good. AI is good, but you don't just use AI in the developed world. You don't just copy and paste anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just copy and paste anywhere. They dismiss you from international university because of that.
Definitely.
You can do the research, you see it, you have to put it in your own work. You don't take anything from the internet and just put it because you're doing that, you cite. Because when you are citing, the first thing the professor will ask, okay, I know you cited this. Why is it important of this? Who said this? When they said this? Why they said this? So AI say, okay, Booyah in Nima. Okay, we agree, Booyah in Nima. Who said that? When they said that?
Then you say AI. Then you say AI.
People say, oh, you get grant funding from the internet. So those things are good. It helps people with research and things. Why you say about Google? Here, everywhere we go, we ask for address. You just put it in the Google to go. You can't drive in the very world without the Google map and the rest. Mm-hmm. You have to ask, okay, Google, can you tell me this? They give you the address and you go after that, which is good. That's using it for the good reason. But you can't be doing professional paperwork and put AI information in it. You are out. They dismiss you.
So I think that should be a very good topic for discussion for our educational system in Liberia, because I've experienced that.
I see you when you are ready. You put our announcement. I will follow you. You gotta follow you. The two of you. I don't know why you're on. I want to talk to the CEO about my complaint and anything that you will get formal letter, Joe.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you. And I now reach to the Supreme Court, so you got away.
Thank you guys. So okay. Apostle has been a wonderful show. We have exhausted all of our time tonight. Just a little emphasis I wanted to make. With this teacher thing, I think we will discuss that maybe tomorrow, hopefully. And I want us to blanket with the issue of the use of AI in our educational system in Liberia. I've experienced a lot of folks who write me, and when they write, sometimes you go through the AI detector and you realize that 98% of the work was generated by AI, and it becomes a little bit frustrating, especially where students are not really focused on building the foundation, especially you in high school, and you're getting used to using AI, which generates almost everything for you. Imagine, right? Some AI like the ChatGPT generate almost 10,000 words, Sometimes they generate almost maybe 20,000, 40,000, depending on the command you give to them and if you have the advanced setting. So I think we'll have to discuss that. We will try to talk with maybe the CEO of NIMA, the County Education Officer, to appear here so that we can discuss this issue. And I've also had a concern about the issue of civics being taught. I did a research that most of our institutions in NIMA, I don't know of other places, but in NIMA, civics is no longer being taught in the schools. And according to the Constitution of Liberia, Article 10, it says that the Constitution should be taught in every university and every high schools in the country. So if the Constitution was taught partly in the civic course, but now that civics is not being taught in many institutions within the country, you realize that the Constitution is no longer taught. So at the end result, people do not know their fundamental rights. People do not know their obligations, and people commit crimes at any time. So I think we will have to bring the CEO here for us to discuss that in details. Let's hear you before we go.
Yeah, John. Yeah. We will try to reach to the CEO, the DO of our district, the CEO of the county, and federal DO around. We'll have to reach to them to be discussing educational matter. Maybe we'll schedule maybe like for instance a Wednesday. I'm just saying something. We say okay, Wednesday will be the education program. Then maybe Friday we say health program. Just that, just to get people view and get some broader idea on education and health and agriculture in our setting. We will not just be following politics throughout, like that. I will encourage that the CEO, if you have a contact, you get to him. I have a contact too. I will try to get to him so we can do that. Yeah, it's a good thing. I know we are in the 21st century. Technology is advancing. We will discuss it, and yeah, the late knowledge we got it too. We'll discuss it.
That's great.
Yeah.
I know for you that you're there. Yeah. So it's gonna be a good show when we're discussing that. But let's hear you your parting statement, your parting comments, so that we can end today's edition of this program.
Oh yeah, I want to be thankful to God first and to our guest for
the men in Butu, they conducted the program, so you wanted to talk about that, and we
Oh yeah. I wanted to say thanks to all those our part of the program today, and I was just following. For me, I was just following the fanart on Facebook. The other person gave why call it 50,000, 100,000, $105 US. I was just following it. I say hey, the person who posting the money, I hope somewhere the accountant around here will marking it.
I tell you,
marking it.
So, you got it well, man. They did extremely well, and all of those are contributed too.
And so these are things we need that when it is done, when all of the funding have been raised in this condition, what we need to be pushing is the network issue in Mutual, so that the relay there can be okay, because you cannot get a tower, then the network is bad. Then where is the tower there for? What is it there for? Is it serving the people, or is serving people in Ivory Coast? So we got to actually
at the age of Liberia, I think it's long overdue that we start to discuss the thing of network connectivity in some places, discussing roles. It's very shameful for us, man. Very bad.
It's shameful for us, but man, it's shameful for us, but in entire Africa, man. Technology, the advancement in technology is just coming. So it's just hitting Africa.
Yeah, some part of Africa, it's not really as compared to Liberia. Can you imagine that the way we use Wi-Fi around other countries is not like that in Liberia? People don't even really know what Wi-Fi is in Liberia.
Oh yeah,
88% of citizens doesn't know what really Wi-Fi is. They are already, used to this thing of data, and I think the LTA authority, they really have to focus on that segment, that particular side, because with the data usage in Liberia, we spend a lot of money as compared to the Wi-Fi, and people are not making publicity on the Wi-Fi. I don't know whether it is in the preview of the companies that are operating the network in the country, or it is in the preview of the Liberia Telecommunication Authority. I don't know. But I think it's better that because nowadays people don't really put scratch card in phone to call. Even here, I don't call people directly like that. I use the internet to call.
John,
it's bad, man.
John, everything has time. But what I want to say on that
175 years, 176 years, how many times we get,
when cell phone came to Liberia, when it came to Africa, we had to look at we had to look at it let's look at that now. When those things came to Liberia is one thing. Now let's look at the broader picture. Look at the workforce in Liberia. How many of our people are working that can afford, the purchase of Wi-Fi, device? How many of them can use the Wi-Fi? Will be able to use it. What are those phones that we're using there that we will be using Wi-Fi? It's just of recent you see smartphone just coming in Liberia.
No,
So you cannot be using telephone, how they call it, bunting phone. Then you see I get Wi-Fi. That's a big issue.
I have another stand on that, right?
Yeah, I know you already get a descending view always.
Yeah, I got the same view in this one. Seriously. Now,
Yeah.
the population of Liberia, I want to say it is not verified, but from my preview, I think 50% of the population are youth. Let's say 60%. And out of the 60% population being youth, 45% or 46% uses smartphone. That's a very, very big one. A huge
No, you say 41% of the youth that use smartphone?
I'm saying now maybe 45%.
Okay, thank God you see maybe because
I'm using maybe.
Yeah, maybe you may be a sign a historian. I always want to get approximately, Yeah. Right.
The problem about the Wi-Fi is that it's even more economical than the scratch card we buy. And I believe that's the reason why the GSM company do not want to introduce it. I believe that. Because with the Wi-Fi, it's unlimited and you use until the month end, depending on your subscription. So for example, if you subscribe like $20 USD for the month, so you will use that until that time is expired. But they know that if they introduce that to almost every household in Liberia, people would not really buy data again like that. So if I go into Efanso house, Efanso already get Wi-Fi sitting to the house there. When I go out here, connect to it. If I go on campus, I already know I get Wi-Fi on campus. So the basic places that I will go per day, I will already have these things, except for example, maybe I'm going to the market. That's the only time I'll go offline, or I would need to buy data. But they are not introducing it. Imagine if you go to Liberia right now, so you have gotten used to the internet so much that you will want to maybe buy data every day because you want to get connected to the internet.
No, I'll get my small Wi-Fi in my bed.
How you get a Wi-Fi now when it's not being publicity? I mean, that be
they both sell the stuff in their area. People who get money get it.
That's what I'm saying. It's bad. It's better that they get on our back to tell them that you need to make publicity about this. You need to take it to the people. There should be an option. At first, the king took our 3-day unlimited course, which we don't know. It will not come back again. The data, I don't know.
Wi-Fi, the way you are saying it fun. But the discerning view from my side is this. Wi-Fi is very costly than buying data. So the little Liberian man will not be able to afford Wi-Fi. Let's say for instance $60 US. $60 US to subscribe for a month. I can use less than $10 US to be buying my data for a month. That's it.
Let me
conclude.
You see, the problem about it is that your end is costly. Your end particularly is costly because your currency is 1, your economy is 2. My end, Wi-Fi is very reasonable, that I believe so. The previous country that I went to, Wi-Fi was a little bit expensive there because of the currency. They were using euros. So Wi-Fi was expensive. Now, where I am, I pay less than $25 for Wi-Fi per month.
Only you, right?
Yeah, in a house. Maybe if you want to connect other people, you connect them and you share the bills. So the Wi-Fi port is here. So you use everything on it. Now, if you take that to Liberia, for example, the fearful part they are afraid of that I believe they are afraid of is maybe you take the Efanso go buy the Wi-Fi. You see how, let's say, for example, where Jackie gets her instant connect. All go there to use the Wi-Fi when we were there. If we got basic work online to do and we not get money to buy data, we go there and use the Wi-Fi. So I'm pretty sure that this GSM company, they are afraid to make more publicity about this, that when Efanso get a Wi-Fi and I live in rent near Efanso, I don't want to buy data again. I will just be using Efanso Wi-Fi and giving small thing every month. So Wi-Fi in our location is expensive. In your location is expensive. In my location is expensive. And I believe that these things come with the economy and the currency that is being used. Even though in Liberia, our basic currency is USD, that almost everybody knows. Most of the transaction is US dollars. even a scratch card if you go to buy is in dollars. But I believe that maybe Wi-Fi could be around $20. And if a person buy Wi-Fi, the entire people around there will not want to buy data again. So they are afraid. But I believe that it should press on them though. Maybe I could write 1 or 2 person from the house of legislature to call those guys from LT, from Orange, from those stuff. Not to press them.
No, saying it the way you're saying it, like you are in a court is very fine. Yeah, I just retrospecting on how somebody in court explaining how things work back there. But let me let you know something. Wi-Fi is costly than buy data. The reason come on. The Oba, anytime she want to use her data, she will go.
You see, no problem. You see, you're only one limited to the Oba.
No, these are the no. These are people. No, I want to get to the bottom line for the people who can afford. Who can afford? Yeah.
For the sake of the conversation, you win.
Yeah.
You win, but I know I cannot convince you.
No.
I'll go to this extent.
Okay, let me leave Liberia. I can read to you. In your area, you are in the house, you pay $20 for Wi-Fi, for instance. You alone using your Wi-Fi, for instance, it will last a bit longer. But if you got
one month,
just give me a chance. Let me let you know, data can come in package. If they are giving you the 10 gigabyte, they will not get that 10. What they will do, they will give you 5. If you exhaust the 5, then they give you additional 5. If you exhaust it, they give you additional. Sometimes your data set will not finish. It will leave with them. The next time you subscribe, they continue sending. Now, but if you use all of your data, you know what's going to happen? They will reduce your link. You will notice that your link, instead of it being very fast, it will start getting slower. That's what can happen. Now, here when I use my data, you know what they can tell me? They can send me that you are use 5 gigabytes of all of your data. But they will not tell me the total amount because my own are unlimited. The same way, they will not tell me the total amount they're giving me, but they will tell me that you are used it. By the time I see certain now, I go to 25 gigabyte. When I'm communicating with you, you'll be breaking in. Meaning, no way now. Yeah.
The difference about this Wi-Fi thing is that the package that it comes in is higher than the data package.
I know. I know.
So you realize that the Wi-Fi is more reasonable than even the data. Let's take, for example, you're using iPhone. If you go to Liberia, to sustain you for a day, you just say you know how Liberia data system is. They will tell you, say, you get 10 gigabyte. Within a blink of an eye, that 10 gigabyte finish.
I mean, iPhone not gonna be using Liberia. People, you're forcing them to use it there.
Anyways, I've done a great show, Efan, so let's hear you.
Yeah,
wonderful.
iPhone said, "Now we are good phone." Thank you. Want to say thank you. Want to say thanks to
Alfonso make to our followers. The last statement Alfonso made that iPhone is not a good phone, trashy.
iPhone is not a good phone though. Yeah, it's not a good phone. And you want to use good phone, use Samsung. Yeah, Samsung Galaxy is a very good.
That's where you can go. But the discussion between those two companies, I mean, we the users, the way we take it to be. I'm not really new Samsung to that extent.
No, Samsung Galaxy is a very good phone. Yeah, but Apple is not a good phone. But people just like it because of the camera. That's all. No, Apple is not a good phone, my brother.
Let's leave the camera side of iPhone. Let's leave it. But the features that iPhone have, even though I'm not using Samsung, but there are very good features in iPhone. Like for example, the latest iPhone that are coming. I'm not saying that I'm using iPhone maybe 10, iPhone 11. I mean, those are using good iPhones. For example, it comes with this iOS system. Now they are using iOS 20, which the entire system is like.
Tell yourself using nothing system, did that thing. Tell yourself using.
We got Siri.
Tell you come and see that in the Galaxy thing.
We got Siri. We got Siri on iPhone that I can see. Yeah, okay, my phone from like maybe 5 feet away. I can
Oh
just
yeah,
stay here and give command to my phone. I don't know whether
yeah.
Samsung
Samsung does that. Samsung does that. It's very expensive than iPhone. Yeah.
yeah, I know that is
Samsung got more program. It got more program than even the iPhone you're talking about.
but you know the frustrating thing about it.
iPhone for ladies to be taking photo, my brother. Yeah, Samsung does the web computer do. Samsung does it well. Then iPhone. I'm telling
You
you,
win,
I know phone, brother.
you win, you win, you win.
Yeah.
Let's hear
That
you.
way, I'll buy my iPhone. I keeping the money for I know 2,150. I will buy and bring it to library. You see your own eyeball, see your
Yeah,
kolo
Pastor,
kolo.
what is
Eh?
your problem? You keeping money for iPhone?
No, I'm talking about Samsung, not iPhone now. So you can
Okay,
see your kolo kolo.
all right, no problem, no
Okay,
problem.
let's just say it's just a joke, but I can use 2,800 buy for my brother.
What?
I don't want for the so good as standing to that gas station in Gata as soon as I start jacking my phone. You know,
That's a little story. I went back in December 2023. I had iPhone 14 Pro with me. So you know when you enter, the way most people will be looking at you. I remember a few people came to me and they asked me which type of phone you're using. I said after iPhone 14 was like, almost the latest next to the 15. I said this is iPhone 14 Pro. They say, wow, I've been here, I made money. The next thing I go look when I went to the Push Entertainment Center one day, while sitting playing with my phone, the men standing over each other to check the phone from my hand. When I look around, saw the guys, I know the man was in there. If
Jeff
you
for
try to
Apple.
they say that 2004 phone in brother, you gotta go for it.
Jeff for Apple.
Jeff for iPhone. But anyways, it's okay though.
Yeah. Thanks to our listener, and tomorrow we'll continue our show. We want to say thank you for your text message. We saw it. In the background when we're discussing, I can be, texting and replying, making some comment. Other thing is good. Sometimes like
Yeah,
that, yeah. So
it's really good.
these are things we'll be doing, and tomorrow we'll be discussing some issues on our education system, a lot of things around. So it's a good day though.
Thank you so much, Alfonso. As always, I'd like to say thank you to you for joining the show this evening. It has been a wonderful conversation on the Heat Hour here, and I've been your host, Junior Payne, followed by the co-host Alfonso Wumba, and today we were joined by one of our panelists, Mr. DK Way. DK also joined us here this evening, and we were in conversation with Mr. or Honorable Cornelius Bokua Miame. Honorable Cornelius Bokua Miame is a representative hopeful in the upcoming District Number 5 by-election in Nima County that is expected to take place on August 12th. Hopefully, we will be bringing all of the Hopi candidates here to interview them, to tell us their plight, while people listen to them and make the right choice. Again, before we come back again tomorrow, stay blessed. I hope you go to church today. And I don't know whether there is a service from Apostle in. I don't know whether he went to church, but I think he prayed at home.
I pray at home. I came from work, but in the morning, and I went straight to bed.
I think he prayed at home.
So we go at work and there. So in the night, soon morning, 7 o'clock, I come from work. I go straight to bed.
That's great. So again, it has been a wonderful show. All of you, thank you for following this evening. Mr. Amos Nemia George was following the show. We say thank you. Melvin Opaswa, as always, he always followed the show. We say thank you for following. I don't know, this is Kona Tia. She also followed the show and she supported your idea that Samsung is a good phone. But I mean, I will have to. Yeah, I will have to.
That's she, right?
Yeah, she.
She knows phone. We're talking about good phone. She knows phone.
She identifies as she.
Okay.
You know, nowadays people, you gotta be very careful.
Yeah.
Because you go speak to this other person and say, no, I identify as she.
Yeah. That's a good part. You know about Samsung one day. Samsung is a good phone.
Yeah. Anyways, I would like to give you a try, but I don't think I will leave iPhone. But
the native people have problem with now in Liberia. Samsung like again, yeah, you one scene. That's all. But Samsung is a good phone.
But even the iPhone, I won't sing.
My brother, you go in the interior, Samsung can get network anywhere in the forest easily.
And also, we're going to meet up tomorrow. Thank you so much on the show. Again, thank you to all of our followers, to all of those who contributed to our program yesterday in Mutuo. It was a very brilliant and great program there in Mutuo. To all of our contributions, we appreciate you for your 5 cents, 2 cents that you gave, and we can give you the assurance that those contributions will be used for its internal purpose. And again, we'd like to say a very big thank you to our CEO, Mr. Alvin Seka Sr., for always affording us the opportunity to appear here to inform our people. And thank you to him for establishing this platform that we are sitting on currently and all of the platform that he has. It has been a wonderful show this evening. I'd like you to stay blessed, stay out of trouble, love the life you live, and live the life. Until we meet again, I've been Junior B, your host.